Let's welcome in, shall we, our match commentator, Steve McManaman, of course, former Real Madrid player with us, Luis Garcia as well. Macca, I don't think at least anyone could have foresaw what happened in that second half at half-time.
No, it was embarrassing, wasn't it, Dan, in the end? I'm listening to Jürgen and Robbo there. You know, I completely agree, concur with all of them. Real Madrid lost the shape. Barcelona were fantastic. Real Madrid were all over the place, defending like children in the end. I mean, so lopsided, so dysfunctional. You know, they conceded 4, but Lewandowski missed an incredible chance for his hat-trick. It could have been 5, it could have been 6. And, you know, Real Madrid were brilliantly bad, weren't they? And Barcelona, with the youth and their experience that they have scattered around the pitch, I thought were excellent, well deserving of the victory. And, I mean, it'll be a huge post-mortem tomorrow, won't it? Kylian Mbappe looked as if he couldn't play in the end. He was just bereft of all kinds of confidence. And it'll be interesting to see what happens because, you know, Madrid were all over the place. It was very, very, very strange performance, that second half performance today.
What's strange as well, Macca, is we've seen, like, this is Real Madrid side. It hasn't got a glass jaw. We've seen them being punched so many times over the years, yet they bounce back and they get the result. But this time, there was no sort of resilience, any sort of show of a comeback whatsoever.
No, not at all. It looked as if Barcelona were just going to carry on and score more goals. You know, even in the 5 minutes ago, Mbappe's still running offside. I mean, it's incredible the fact that we're having this conversation about one of the world's greatest players with blistering pace. He could not keep himself onside. It was incredible to see and to watch, and it sort of brings you back down to earth, really, when you look at these humbling experiences, because, you know, maybe they're not as good as we all thought. Yes, at glimpses, outstanding, but tonight on the biggest stage in his first Clasico, when it looked as if they could score at will after 20 minutes in the first half, you know, Madrid were found wanting, and it's a very strange scenario because I think when you spoke to everybody before the game, we all thought there was going to be goals, but we thought it would be Madrid scoring them. So the fact that, you know, it was a humbling 4-0 victory for Barcelona, you know, in their head-to-head games as well, that gives them a psychological edge of 4-0 victory when they have to go to the Montjuic or Camp Nou, if the Camp Nou will be ready for that particular game. But 6 points clear, Barcelona. I mean, you don't want to go on about how bad Real Madrid would be because that's disrespectful for Barcelona. They went there on a night with youngsters and they just ran all over Real Madrid, and it was a really, really stellar performance from them. So you'd have to say, well, you know, incredibly well done to Hansi Flick because he's brave playing that style of football against Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe, but he's walked away with a fantastic 4-0 victory.
What did we say? I mean, when somebody is getting caught offside as much as that, and we've talked about it all game, Macca's right, ridiculous in the end. Ridiculous to continue to be in offside positions when you have that level of understanding of the game and experience. And he wasn't the only one, but he was the biggest culprit. And we know they do play this line, right? They've got the most offsides, almost double anybody else in European football. So what do you have to do? We talked about it. You've got to get runners from deep. And you've got to talk to your front men and say, play away from it. Don't always try and run in there. Play away from it. Let the midfield runners. How many runs? Tell me how many times Freddie Valverde got in behind. I don't remember Valverde once, and he's one of the quickest, most energetic players in world football. How many times did he make a run from deeper, penetrating that defence or offside? I'm going to say 0. I remember 1 from Jude Bellingham in the first half. 1. So what you have here, to an extent, is you have, and I suppose at Real Madrid it's happened a lot, you sign these Galacticos, these big stars, you got to sort of find a way to get it right. But they've basically taken, again, another side that was fluid and very successful and ripped up that blueprint and moved a lot of people around to try and make it work for Kylian Mbappe. And yeah, they're only a few points behind, but we've seen all the performances. Yeah. We've seen the games. Thus far, it is not working. But they had no midfield runners today to try and break an offside trap. And they had one guy who was trying to break it for 95 minutes or whatever it was, and he couldn't do it.
Luis Garcia, you haven't spoken yet, and I doubt you care, considering what you saw take place in that second half. It must just be beyond any dreams of Barcelona to see what happened and to see how it played out and to see the youngsters and to see what Hansi Flick has done with his side, given all the doubts on and off the pitch during the summer.
Yes, I think so. For the club, for the supporters, even for the players, to start the way that they have started the beginning of this new era with Hansi Flick, with all those youngsters, just because of the result they were arriving, but also because I think that the way this Barcelona has been playing is been just magnificent. You can have ups and downs, you can have moments of doubts. We saw the other day against Bayern Munich, and today at some point in the first 45, when Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, of course, is going to be dominant, is going to put you under pressure. But the way that the kids handled the situation, it was outstanding. And the guys are trying to understand why Real Madrid is not making those runs from the midfield going forward, why Mbappe is not making the right runs when that high line is going ahead. If you see the way the Barcelona has been playing for the past 2.5 months, 3 months, it's exactly the same way. With that high line, you need to work a lot during the week, and the guys will tell you that to make a good pressure, the whole team has to do it in the perfect situation, in the perfect moment, all at the same time, with an organization, because in the moment that one of the players is out of that pressure, then the other team is free to do whatever they want. This Real Madrid is trying to manage and trying to find their shape still yet, because we saw this Real Madrid starting with a 4-4-2, then changing to a 4-3-3, then changing the other day against Celta Vigo with the 3 centre backs. Today we've seen Jude Bellingham on the right and Camavinga on the left as a wingers. So it's very difficult for the players. We are talking about top players. They will need to find their way on the field, but you need to work that. In the moment that is not work and you start changing, replacing players, you take away Tchouaméni and you bring Modric, and then there is no transition. You take away Camavinga, you bring Brahim Diaz, and then the whole midfield is gone. So the plan B is not going to work because you haven't worked with that. So you could see in the second half so much spaces, so much time for players to receive the ball of Barcelona and then create a counter-attack. So I think that this Real Madrid needs to find their way. They haven't done it. They got the talent on the team, but they don't know if they're going to play 4-4-2, 4-3-3, or whatever they are going to find. In the moment that they find their way, their identity, this Real Madrid will go to the other side. Because as Craig just mentioned, we've seen them so many times. We've seen, even last year, and in the end, because of the talent, they managed to get the result. But the way that they've been playing is not the best of the Real Madrid. So I think that we'll see a better Real Madrid, but so far, I think they are far away from their best.
Last word to you, Macca, before we let you go. You can have a little sing-song if you like on that crooner microphone.
Okay.
Well, I think that, the worrying part, Dan, is it doesn't seem to be, the forwards will take care of themselves, but defensively now, they look all over the place. Danny Carvajal is not coming back this year, is he? I don't know how bad Thibaut Courtois is. Hopefully he'll be back soon. But they're letting in goals. They let in 2 against Dortmund. It could have been more. They lost to Lille. They've been hammered tonight and could have conceded more. So they're going to have to do something there as well. So looking at it from a broader perspective, they're in a bit of a mess and they need to sort out a lot of problems, and they need to sort it out very, very soon.